everybody. Welcome back to my channel. And we are on our second episode of this amazing series, Girls with Crowns, hosted by Black Girl Magic Museum and my brand, HBCU Fan-Addict, because it's all about the culture and empowering our historically Black colleges and universities. So take a look at this amazing episode we just dropped on Instagram Live and join us every Thursday night for Spring 2020's Girls with Crowns as we meet all of our beautiful HBCU queens. So tonight, you're in for a special treat.
Our Girls with Crowns. Hi, Dr. Tuesday. How are you?
Hi. I'm great. How are you, Dominique?
I'm good. So this is our second episode with Girls with Crowns. We're so excited.
Yes, Girls with Crowns. Look, this is our new thing. We need everybody to join in and do this. Girls with Crowns.
Up. Make sure you put your crowns up.
Yes, as we represent Black Girl Magic Museum and HBCU Fan-Addict. So excited tonight. Come on in, everyone. Welcome. Come on in.
And guys, if you guys have any questions for us during this live, please drop them in the comments. And once we start to wrap up, we will definitely look in the comments, be able to answer questions for you, especially for so many of us tonight, because we have Dallas in the house. You know, I live in Dallas. And yes, so I'm super excited about this one. So please ask all your questions, but I'll let Dr. Tuesday get us started.
Okay, yes. Hi, and I do see a girl with a crown in with us, one of our beautiful queens. So welcome, Queen.
Thank you. And I apologize ahead of time. I do not have my crown on me. Some unfortunate events happened to it. So I apologize.
I know. That's okay. We know that you do represent the crown for none other than the Paul Quinn College in Dallas, Texas. Yes, in Dallas, Fort Worth. And so we're so excited to have you, but we do want to open up first. This is our Girls with Crowns series that we'll be doing in respect to our historically Black colleges and universities. Yes, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I got y'all spinning here, so maybe it's mine. So I do apologize if you don't get me real time. Yes, let me step off.
Reporters on here today. Look at you.
You've been really quick.
A true leader at your school and your college. I'm so happy to see this. This is what we need. We need people supporting our young ladies as they're out, you know, just building a future for so many. So I am super excited to see that your friends and family is joining the live.
Yes, come on in and go grab a young lady. Go grab one of those high school teens that you know, your little sister, your cousin. Get them on the live here at Black Girl Magic Museum so that they can find out how they too can be as excellent as our queen, Mrs. Paul Quinn College, who is none other than Queen Andrea Cruz with us tonight. Let's give her a round of applause again. Woo! Yes, representing D-Town.
Yes.
Good to have you. So before we get started with our series, I do want to send out some condolences. Just take a moment because I know our queen represents the organization. So I just wanted to have all of us just take a moment to join the Sisters of Delta Sigma Theta in mourning the passing of Cheryl A. Hickman, their national president. Sadly, she transitioned this morning following a recent illness. And so I know I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, and our national president also sent out condolences on behalf of our organization. But we want to extend on this live today our deepest sympathy to the Hickman family and the beautiful members of Delta Sigma Theta sorority tonight, as we are honored with a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority tonight out of all nights. So we do definitely send our prayers through this difficult time. So we'll just take a moment of silence for that family. and the members of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. All right, and if you are a member, let us know in the comments. Our thoughts are with you. And of course, we want to get started by letting you know I'm Dr. Tuesday Mahoney. I am the founder of HBCU Fan-Addict, which is an awesome platform here to encourage us to take opportunities by storm, really, through HBCUs. So we're all about the history, the culture, and of course the academics, just informing our young people today that they have to have an HBCU in their college choice, as well as choose one, and of course graduate from one. So if you have graduated from a Black college or HBCU, please put it in the comments. We'll shout it out. But we have a special guest tonight that is going to take us to her campus and empower us really soon. And I want Dominique to share just a little bit about Black Girl Magic Museum for those who are logging in for the first time, what that awesome experience is all about, and then we'll roll into our series with our beautiful girl with crowns.
Absolutely. So Dominique Hamilton with Black Girl Magic Museum. Our pilot location started in Dallas, Texas. So I was excited when we had Miss Paul Quinn to be able to be on the call, because we just knew that representation is so important. And that's one of the reasons why we decided to launch our company in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I just want to hand it over to Andrea so that we can learn more about her and have her people hear about the journey of becoming the queen for Miss Paul Quinn.
Okay, excellent. I want to talk about our crown real quick and what our theme is for tonight, and we will get into our wonderful series, Girls with Crowns. So the crown has 7 symbolisms that we'll focus on. We're going to be here every Thursday night, and we'll have an amazing queen with us every night from one of our phenomenal HBCUs. And so the crown mainly symbolizes these 7 things, and that is royalty, power, legitimacy, victory and glory, divinity, wealth, and dynasty. So last Thursday, we were on the East Coast in Baltimore, Maryland, and we talked about royalty. So this Thursday, we're going to hit power. That's our theme tonight. And so power is all about having the authority to make decisions. So we'll start our queen off with introducing herself once again. And can you tell us a little bit about Paul Quinn College, the America's greatest small college, basically?
Basically. Yeah, so my name is Andrea Cruz. I am 22 years old, hailing from Houston, Texas. That's where I'm from.
All right, H-Town.
Yeah, H-Town. But now I reside in Dallas, Texas. So I was Miss Paul Quinn College 2020 through 2021. We have not yet had elections for this new year, but we will soon. So hopefully y'all get to interview the new Miss Paul Quinn College for 21 through 22, which I'm really excited about because I love connecting people. So this would be a great platform for her new reign. So yeah, I graduated last May. I was magna cum laude. I majored in biology, health and wellness, and yeah, I did a lot of things there. So just Paul Quinn College as a whole, we are DFW's only HBCU in our area, so we pride ourselves in that a lot. So we were actually just named to have America's best basketball court. I don't know if y'all saw the headlines.
No.
Y'all didn't? Oh, I was like, ESPN like nominated us, and HBCUs, like we were on all the headlines because we have a new basketball court, and it's the Dallas skyline from the Jim Crow era. So it's just a lot of history that was put into it. And so every time, you know, our players are stepping on the court, it symbolizes way more than, you know, ourselves. It symbolizes history and the upcome. And Paul Quinn College is also the nation's first urban work college. So it allows our students to go to college and also participate in internships, where it gives us a scholarship off of our tuition. So then we're actually getting, the equality and the same opportunities to be in these corporate internships so that, after that we can graduate with careers in these internships, which is what our president, Michael J. Sorrell, really wanted to impact. Graduate, not just to graduate, but to graduate to have a job.
Okay, great. All right, well, shout out to Paul Quinn College in Dallas, Texas. Once again, you just stated that Paul Quinn is the only Black college or HBCU in Dallas-Fort Worth area, really North Texas, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's so exciting to know, and we want to make sure that everybody knows that Dallas is a phenomenal place to live. So I want to kick it over to Dominique to talk about Dallas, the city, Dallas-Fort Worth, so that people understand where Paul Quinn is located and how powerful and influential Paul Quinn College could be for the experience, especially with those amazing interns Queen's just mentioned.
Absolutely. I think Dallas just in general is a great place to be. We have Arlington, we have Dallas, we have so many different cities. Yeah, Fort Worth. We have so many cities inside of, the Dallas-Fort Worth area that just makes Dallas a place to come. We have tech hubs all through Dallas. I'm in Plano, and there's so many tech companies. Yes. So,
yes, like on Magic Museum, pilot location is in Dallas-Fort Worth area, correct?
Yes, absolutely. So I just know that that's just a great place to be, just in general. I love Dallas, but we also love Houston. So, but Dallas is definitely at the top of our list. So we were really excited to see that, to be able to interview you, have someone that goes to the only HBCU in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I just thought that was very vital, because sometimes even with children, especially with COVID happening, a lot of people don't want to leave home. So being able to have that same HBCU experience, but still being close to home, I think is always great also.
Mm-hmm. And not a lot of people know Paul Quinn unless you've been to HBCUs.
Well, we're changing that tonight.
Yeah, mainly because, one, we're a small private institution, but secondly, we don't have a football team. So I know HBCUs, that's a big thing. But the reason why we don't have a football team is because when our current president, when he first came in, he saw a need in our community. So we are located in the Oak Cliff, Highland Hills area. And our campus is actually in a food desert. So you have to travel 15 miles to get to a Walmart or a Kroger. So our president said,
wow.
You know what, let's change our football field into a farm. So we started, so that caused a lot of,
yes, that's amazing.
Yeah, but he saw the greater need in it. So we changed our football field to a farm. So that's now our farm. And we actually grow vegetables, fruits, and we actually our Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
Yes, of course. So go Cowboys.
So we grow our vegetables here in Oak Cliff, and then we take it to the games. So they're actually serving it to people at the Dallas Cowboy games, which we love. But also we have farmer markets on Fridays so that our community can come get fresh vegetables, fruits, honey. We have local honey to fulfill that need, because we are in a food desert.
Oh, that is so phenomenal for HBCUs to contribute in that way to our community. So shout outs to Paul Quinn College as well as to President Sorrell. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. That's
all right. Shout outs to that movement. And I know just a little history of Paul Quinn, so you'll know, because I'm all about the history. It was founded in Austin, Texas in 1872. And then Paul Quinn, with all of our HBCUs were really about creating access for freed slaves. And now for many of us as African Americans and people of brown and skin tones, we're so excited about what Paul Quinn is doing. And then Paul Quinn transitioned in 1877 to Waco, and of course in 1990, I think. Mm-hmm. It transitioned to Dallas, Texas. And so Dallas is such a phenomenal bed of opportunity. I don't know if a lot of people realize, if you're watching from other areas in the country, that Dallas is the melting pot of corporate headquarters. So it's phenomenal. It's at It's innovative, and there's a lot of resources available for Dallas. So if you're looking for a place to attend college, consider Paul Quinn College. So we're going to jump over into getting to know Queen Andrea Cruz tonight. Once again, Miss Paul Quinn College. We're so excited to have you. Can you tell us a little about who you are, your background, and why you chose Paul Quinn in the Dallas-Fort Worth area to attend HBCU?
Mm-hmm. So, of course, I grew up in Houston, but as I was a senior in high school, kind of getting ready to decide on a college, I grew up going to the Jackson State games. So I was always in Mississippi, Jackson. We have family out there. So it was like the environment. I always loved it. Like, that was my first choice. I was like, oh, I'm going to JSU. Like, no questions about it. But, the out-of-state tuition, I was like, no, but I actually got a soccer scholarship from Paul Quinn. So that kind of transitioned things into my decision as well. But I just remember going on different visits and, like, going to the PWIs. I just didn't feel as, I just felt like another number. I was just like, okay, yeah, this is cool, but I feel more of like on the outsides. Like, I feel like I'm the minority here. But at HBCU, we're the majority. Like, we see people that look like us, that are excelling. We see people that genuinely want us to succeed, and we're just not another number. So at Paul Quinn, I felt like, okay, this is family. Like, people know my name. Like, people are like looking out for me. Like, I remember visiting the school, and one of the deans at the college, she was actually like, you're going to be the new Miss Paul Quinn College. She's like, you're going to be Miss Paul Quinn College one day. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I just laughed it off. I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. But
Declare that.
it goes to show, it goes to show how much these, people actually want to see you succeed and do things not only, for yourself, your representation, your community, but also, again, it was like a family. So it was that small. Some of the advisors and financial aid ladies, like, they're like my other mamas. Like, they made sure I was good. They were like, let me call your mama. Like, I will tell you. Like, it was a family. So it felt comfortable. It felt like home to me. I didn't have to, I wasn't overlooked. Like, I was given the same opportunities as everybody else. And then again, the work program college, which sets you up to partner with these big corporations like AT&T, Chase, the Dallas Cowboys, the Legends. Like, it just has so many more opportunities that I saw myself in. And then the soccer team as well, the sports. But that's how I chose my HBCU in my college.
That is amazing. I love the story behind it. I love everything that you have just expressed to it. I think more people need to know about, like, I had no idea about the trades and stuff at Paul Quinn. I think that that's an awesome incentive to be able to go to a local college and be able to get so much from it.
Mm-hmm. And I also appreciated how small our class sizes were, because usually when you go to a bigger college, you have a lot of people in your class, so it's kind of hard to get that one-on-one, like, attention with your professor. Like, our professors would hand out their number, like, hey, if y'all need anything, just text me if it's that urgent. And even the president of our college, he gave us his number. He was like, hey, I'm here for you. Like, this is my job, Like, I just called him today. Like, I was telling him, yeah, I'm about to be on this HBCU thing. He's like, oh, that's awesome.
Yes, did he join us?
I should have told him. He would have popped up. It was a great environment. So.
Excellent. Yes, and one thing that you mentioned, Queen, is family. Attending an HBCU, it just made you feel like you had that support. And definitely for me, it's all about family. And it's all about being empowered and being able to, like MLK just said, we just celebrated Martin Luther King. HBCUs, to me, one of the few places in this country where we can all be just judged by the content of our character and not the color of our skin, and even diversity. Coming in, we're really looking at your character and helping to build you as a young professional in HBCUs. For those who know, I'm an HBCU administrator, and I cannot even express how exciting and how impactful and powerful that is for me to serve students in that way. So I really appreciate how you brought out feeling like you have a family support, and that's what's important about HBCUs. So, I always have to kind of take it back a little bit Queen Cruz to talk about the little girl in you, right, Dominique?
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's so important because that little girl in us went through a lot and had to build that strength in order to be the leader that you are. You're the Goodwill Ambassador for Paul Quinn College. Could you tell us about when you were a little girl, what things did you feel were important in order for you to ultimately one day lead your campus, Paul Quinn College?
Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking back when I'm younger. So I grew up
Yeah, take it back. Go back. Come on, go all the way back.
I grew up in Greens
When you
Point,
in pigtails.
yeah, I was like, I grew up in Greens Point, Houston. So, you know, it was the hood, but honestly, like at that time I was just thinking about sports. Like, and it's crazy because, you know, when you come from like a background like that, it's kind of like you have to be good at something to make it out, you know? So it's kind of like we were always told like, okay, you have to be good at sports. Like all my neighbors, like we were athletes. Like, and honestly, that's all we thought because that was our way to college. Like even now, like soccer got me a scholarship. It got me through college. It's led me to where, you know, I am. So athletics had a lot to do with that. And it taught me a lot of discipline and character and, yeah, just thinking about that. But also my parents, you know, they always taught me to like serve others, you know, like always serve the community, like always do good for others because you just never know, like, you never know who's watching. You never know, you know, who's in need. Like just be a genuine person. And if people need something, you help. Like there's no question about it. So I just always grew up serving, but also grew up like grinding, like hustling. Like this is how, you know, I'm trying to break generational, you know, things here. So it was always in my mindset to, okay, I'm going to go to college. And I'm very grateful my parents like put that in my mind. Like they're like, it's not a choice. Like we're not telling you, you're going to go and try at least, you know, like you're going to try because you're limiting yourself if you don't try. So that was always kind of, also, go ahead.
I was going to say, can you talk a little bit about those generational things that you had, or just share with a barrier that you had to break or that you actually broke for on behalf of your family? Could you talk about that a little bit? Because a lot of people don't realize where they are today, they can still achieve no matter what condition.
Yeah, definitely. So my dad, he didn't go to college. None of his siblings like graduated from college, went to college. His parents didn't go to college. His mom was an immigrant, so she came from Mexico. So they didn't really, I don't know, they just kind of had to work. Like I remember my dad telling me like he wasn't allowed to play sports because he was the oldest, so he had to go work. He had to go find a job to help his siblings. Like he didn't really have an option. So me, like I had that option. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it because I know you didn't have it when you were growing up. So it was kind of like that, but also, you know, none of my siblings. So I come from a big family. I'm the youngest of 7. So none of my other siblings, I would say, my sister, she graduated before me, but she's about 6 years older than me. So she was the only one that actually graduated from college in my family at the time, and then I was the second one. But again, the rest of my family, like my cousins, none of them have gone to college, have graduated college. So for us and for my dad, it was like a big deal for him. And a lot of, you know, my younger cousins too, till this day, look up to me. So it's just kind of like, I have to do this for my family, for the people that watch me, you know, to show them that you can do this, like regardless of your circumstances, regardless of what people tell you, like you can go to college, you can get a degree, you can do what you want. And whether that's through, you know, sports or academics, just find that way and just continue to go through, you know, whatever you go through. So, yeah, that's just kind of.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's so important for young people to know that wherever you are, you can reach the mark, and HBCUs are there for you. Dominique, can you kind of talk a little bit about, I know Queen Cruz spoke about how athletics played a major role in her opportunities in Black Girl Magic Museum as far as your exhibits. Do you have any athletes, Black women athletes that you emphasize, and how important is that for young girls to know that they physically can also achieve anything?
So in our first 2 locations, we did not. But as I was really like thinking about how can I make sure we're covering every walk of life. And definitely you saw the Olympics going earlier last year. And I knew, and then also with one of the people on my board being the VP of social responsibility for the Dallas Wings, I was like, how do I not have someone, have an exhibit? So that will be an exhibit that we will have when we open up. We'll be highlighting Black female athletes and just minority athletes as a whole, women, from basketball to soccer to tennis, of course, in track. So we just want to make sure and then a lot of girls would come in Shreveport, Louisiana and Dallas, Texas and say, where's this sport exhibit? And I'm like, you're right. You're right. So yes, and I felt bad because I come from a sports background and I didn't think to make an exhibit.
Yeah, I love that. It's important because it is a way out for some people.
So Annalise just said we had ballerinas in the first one. So that's true. So that's dance is a sport. So that's we had
definitely.
We had ballerinas, we had majorette dancers, and with HBCUs, that's huge. So
yeah, I was a cheerleader too at HBCU. So yes, we loved it.
Absolutely.
Well, you were a cheerleader at Paul Quinn College?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was two different seasons, so I would transition. So yeah.
Well, that's wonderful.
That is awesome. You really utilized your platform and really made it work for you at the college, and that's so amazing.
I want to go back, if you don't mind, Queen, to you being a Hispanic of Hispanic heritage, and how that is just such a powerful thing for HBCUs. And I want you to talk about and speak to little Hispanic girls that need to know that education is important, and then how you felt on an HBCU campus representing your culture.
Mm-hmm. It feels good. There's always people, looking up to you. And actually, we have a high school on our campus right now. So it's called KIPP Academy. And I remember I actually went there to talk to the high school students and kind of about, college and what to expect. And there's this little girl, and she was actually a Hispanic little girl, and she was actually moderating the whole thing. So she was the leader of her class pretty much. But it was really cool because I remember after we had took a picture and they're like, oh, look, you can be the next Miss Paul Quinn College. And she just had the biggest smile on her face.
Wow.
But it just made me feel really good because it's like you said, you can do this too. And that's why I do this, so other, Black and brown little girls can see oh, I can do this too. That's honestly a big part of HBCUs. It's seeing the excellence there. Okay, they can do it. They look like me. I can do it too.
Yes.
Why not? So that's a big part of it. And
definitely, I wanted to add to that too with HBCUs real quick, and then let you transition into the culture. Sorry to interrupt, but we are also a phenomenal institution when it comes down to a global impact. So I am a primary designated officer on my campus with Homeland Security, and so I have the opportunity to bring in international students from all over the world. And so with that being said, HBCUs, they tell me all the time that they're more comfortable and they're more confident in transitioning to study abroad at an HBCU, and they were excited to know. And it's good that we just spread the word all over the world, because a lot of other countries don't realize the power and influence and the academics that HBCUs offer. So let's switch back over to the culture.
Mm-hmm. So for the culture, again, I would say a lot of Hispanic kids are having, especially second generation or first generations, coming to America. It's a transition. It's not okay, we know this, this is how things go. I grew up a lot seeing little kids having to speak for their parents because their parents don't know Spanish. They're on the phone with the bank, they're the translators. They've had to grow up so fast, so quick because of their circumstances. But I don't necessarily see that as a negative, because it's look, you might not understand this right now, but you're literally setting yourself up. All this and you're so young, so it's but I see that and I'm okay, you're a leader, like you're literally helping your family at such a young age. So for the culture, it's just like there's a lot of different adversities that people don't really realize that they're having to go through with that transition. But again, I don't think college, at least for like the first gen, like immigrants coming in, like they don't really think, oh, okay, college, like, cause their parents, it's kind of like what their parents know, you know? So it's like, okay, like, yeah, that's cool, but we need money. You know, like my dad's like, okay, like that's cool, but I need to take care of my family. Like that's
it's right
all,
now, not in 4 years.
Yeah, exactly. Like we don't really think into the future, but it's like we could do both. Like, yeah, we might be struggling now, but it's like, okay, be patient, because guess what? I can set myself up way higher if I do this, if I'm patient and let it ride, rather than, okay, I'm just not going to do it all. I'm going to focus on right now. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Definitely. We have a lot of amazing Hispanic leaders in our country. And like I want to emphasize, we are a melting pot of culture, and we're not going to deny that. And so tonight we're so excited to be with one of the phenomenal leaders that we know is making a difference in Dallas, Fort Worth area at Paul Quinn College. Queen Andrea Cruz is with us tonight. And so we're so excited to have her. Real quick, we want to just share what we're doing with HBCU Fan-Addict, and then also what Black Girl Magic Museum has coming up. And so we really, think about little girls. And I just want to emphasize that we want to always support and enhance our culture by educating our young people. I like the fact that you are running across Hispanic young girls who ultimately will be amazing leaders such as yourself. So on February the 5th, we're going to actually participate in the African American Day Parade in Louisiana, once again, the largest parade. And so we plan to have a sea of girls with crowns, yes, with us just marching. And they're going to be of all different melanins, pretty much. It's a melanin walk, and we're excited about just loving the skin that we're in. So Dominique, can you talk about a little bit about colorism and loving the skin that we're in as women and girls today, and how we should work on empowering each other?
Absolutely. So I definitely, and as Dr. Tuesday knows, I really like to focus on just really loving from the lightest hue to the most rich and melanin hues, making sure we love each other. And I know that you can have probably plenty of stories too from your culture dealing with colorism and things like that. And that's one of the reasons why we started Black Girl Magic Museum, is really to highlight the beauty and the brilliance of, minorities, Black women, no matter the hue, no matter the shape, the color, hair texture, it doesn't matter. Just showing you that you are beautiful and you are loved no matter what.
All right, thank you so much. So, Queen Cruz, can you tell us how you became the queen of Paul Quinn College and why that was important to participate in clubs and organizations? And I know you're a member of the sorority, Delta Sigma Theta sorority, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Once again, shout out to Delta Sigma Theta. We send our sympathies tonight. So can you tell us a little bit about engagement, how important it is in college to be engaged and to stay connected, that will help you stay in and complete, and how did you become the queen?
Definitely stay connected. Like I tell this to everybody, like if you can, just do it. Like my mom always tell me, like, why not? Like you're in college, like you need to be, like stretching your possibilities. Like you need to be challenging yourself. Like you only get 4 years, like she told me, like, why not? Like you're only here for a little while. Like this will go by fast. So why not try? Why not? Like it's okay to fail sometimes. Like it's okay to have a setback, but at least you're going. But I would say being involved is so important. It really, I was in a lot of leadership positions before I became Miss Paul Quinn. And I remember like elections were coming up and I was like, oh yeah, like I want to do it, but I'm not sure. Like, and I just remember like the faculty, like I said, it's like a family. They were literally calling me like, why didn't you turn your application in? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, I don't know. They're like,
you're destined to be a queen, I see.
Yeah. They're like, why? Like, they were just confused. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I'm waiting. They're like, no, like, why not? Why not go? But they saw the potential that I couldn't see in myself. But again, I was involved in a lot. So I was president of the Lambda Nu chapter of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. I was co-president of the Voices That Matters committee. So it's a committee we actually have at Paul Quinn College where we amplify Black voices. So we have Black speakers come in and it motivates the students. But it's like a big events thing. So we'd have one like every other month. We had Ice Cube come. We had Keke Palmer come. We had Michael Irving would come. Like we've just had a lot of different people come. We had Devon Franklin and his wife, or ex-wife, sorry, Megan Good. So yeah, it was a really cool experience though, getting to, you know, gather around as, you know, people of color and just see, you know, their stories and see how they're impacted and impact us as students. So that was a really cool experience, and I always would love that. And it was open to the community too. So we were like, come on down, like we have a guest speaker. So I was co-president of that, captain of the soccer team, the women's soccer team. I did cheer. I was in scholars programs. I was in the Duke alumni program.
Everything.
Yeah, I was actually selected by our president to be taught in his class. So we did an African American reparations course. So we actually built a case study for African American reparations. And it was really cool because, you know, he used to be a lawyer. So he would ask us questions. He was like, people are going to ask you this. Like, you need to know. I'm like, okay. But, like, it was uncomfortable questions, but it was like, it's true. Like, people will ask, like, well, how come white people aren't getting the same, you know, like, but it was the reality, like, what people will actually ask. So it was actually really cool to be a part of that case study. And then COVID hit, so it kind of, because we were going to present it like it was going to be this big thing. But we still have our work, so our research, so hopefully the next class that comes around get something with that. But yeah, I was involved in a lot, and it helped my development, helped my time management, because in college that's a huge thing, like knowing how to manage your time. It helped with engagement and connection. I met a lot of good people through the things I was doing. In my leadership, you know, the ability to get things done. So I think that also helped me become Miss Paul Quinn College and be able to get things done, because I was already serving my campus, but being able to serve my community and my campus at the same time was really cool. And I really appreciated my experience that I did have, as that it just helped me do more with that platform.
Yes, and it's all about service and how you are building yourself up to be a future leader that will continue to serve your community in a mighty way. And we appreciate all that you've done, I see, for Paul Quinn College and at Paul Quinn for your campus community. That's so exciting to know. And so we just want to encourage young people, if you're in college now, stay. Go join a club or organization and get involved. That is going to be the number one key. We know that's one of our success keys, is to stay involved in college. Can we speak real quick about Delta Sigma Theta? Can you talk about your chapter a little bit? And what does it mean to be a part of a sorority on a college campus?
It means a lot. I know. It means a lot. You know, sisterhood, service, and scholarship is, you know, what we're known for. But specifically, like Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated is social action. So just having that, and I remember like doing events and doing things with the community, and people would be like, why are you doing this? Like, I remember we had, there was like a lot of homeless people by our college, and we were just like, we went over there and fellowshipped with them, like gave them things, like asked them how their day was, like, what do you need? Like, yeah, we're here right now, but what else do you need? Like, we're gonna come back. Like, we're talking to you. You know, it's more than just giving. It's like building a relationship with people that people usually just drive by, you know? So they're like, who are y'all? Like, why are y'all doing this? They're like, like, why are you being nice? Like, why are you sitting here having a conversation with me? And it's just like, you know, we represent something greater than ourselves. Like, at the end of the day, we're all human, but like, our hearts are for service and our hearts are for scholarship. And people see that on campus. You know, they recognize the Greek organizations on campus because, you know, we're doing the better good. And it's inspiring people, because a lot of people have been like, you know, I love what y'all did. You know, I love how y'all did this and did this. So, you know, it's awesome to be a part of an organization, whichever one you do choose. But it definitely helps you, you know, continue to build on what you do, because, you already have the service in your heart if you're wanting to join, you know, an organization, because that's what we are. We serve, we have scholarships. So it just expands that and allows you to connect with other people that have the same, you know, thoughts and inspirations and want to do the same thing as you. So just to be surrounded by people that think the same and want to, you know, love others the same and serve the same, it's a good, you know, to be together.
Okay, excellent. I know for HBCUs, sororities and fraternities, Black Greek letter sororities and fraternities, may I say, are influential, you know, in so many ways. And a lot of us want to attend HBCUs because we want to be a part of those organizations. So can you tell me, and let me just shout out all of the other sororities as well. Of course, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, Delta Sigma Theta sorority, Zeta Phi Beta, and Sigma Gamma Rho. And we're so excited to have all of those phenomenal organizations empowering women of all colors to be able to give back. And so why did you choose Delta Sigma Theta? And can you also just share what other Black Greek letter organizations you have on your campus?
Mm-hmm. So personally for me, I grew up around Deltas. My best friend, like her whole family's Deltas. My mom's best friend's a Delta. So just being around and seeing, you know, the change they were doing in their community and the way they held themselves, it really like inspired me. I was like, okay, this is something I want to be a part of. But also, you know, the social action part of it. Like I'm all for, you know, the just, like what is right. But also our past Miss Paul Quinn before me, she was also Delta Sigma Theta. So I was like, okay, like this is a legendary, you know, like we have to keep the legacy. But it inspired me to see other women, you know, that look like me doing these amazing works and to see that what their organizations stand for. It just brings great pride to us, as you know, being an AK. But yeah, we also have we have some of them on like active right now for as far as like Black D9. That's the only ones we have. We used to have a Hispanic one for girls and boys, but they're not active right now. But hopefully this next spring we should have 95% of our Greek organizations back. So the yard will be full. So looking forward to homecoming next year. And homecoming is usually during the fall season. So if you're in the DFW area, come out. We have a good time. We cook, we fellowship, we enjoy the culture. It's awesome time.
So let me ask you a question. It seemed like you were very active on campus, but what if someone comes to your campus and they haven't met anyone and they're like, I feel isolated. I feel like I'm not a part of this culture. How would you advise them to get involved? What would you say so that they won't? Because a lot of times if you're not in, you don't feel like you're a part, you end up leaving. How can someone that's an introvert or someone that's not used to being, on a campus with a lot of people, how can they start to feel that family, that community like you were able to?
I would say, so I always tell people, like, do something that you would want to do. And if you don't find anything on campus, like a club or organization that you really relate to or you really like start your own. Like, just come up with the plan, come up how you're going to execute it. Like, you can always tell people this, but you can have a thought, but until you put it into action, it's really nothing. So, don't be afraid to, do what you want to do. So I always tell them, if you want to start this, I will help you, get the details, because I know, I have a lot of experience in events and organizations, but it's, propose it. We always say at Paul Quinn, it's, our motto, pretty much, but we say, closed mouths don't get fed. So, we don't know unless you say something. So we're just tell somebody.
I tell my daughter that all the time, huh?
Yeah, Chris used to tell it out. He was like, closed mouths don't get fed. Y'all was late. Well, y'all didn't say nothing. Yeah, y'all didn't say nothing. So, it's just kind of we always say that, do what you want to do. If you have an idea, you want to start a new club, start it. We had an art club that had started when I was a sophomore or junior there, because somebody was just passionate about that. But a lot of people were too. The club was actually really successful. So it's you never know. So whatever you're interested in, just start one and get people, gather around. That's how you can meet other people, by the similarities of what you like. But also what Paul Quinn did, which is good. Some people hated it, some people liked it, but we would actually make it like work credits. So like say we go into the community or we go volunteer somewhere, like, okay, y'all, we're gonna get this many hours for work credits if you come through. So it helped us essentially like be together, bond together, serve our community together, and get people out of their room. Because I know sometimes it's hard. Like you said, if you're an introvert. My roommate, she was actually one, but I actually got her. I was like, come on, like, you need to come. You need to do something. Like, you can come to our meeting, our next meeting, see how you like it. Like, just get out of the room. Like, it's so much out there. Like, just come do it. So just encourage people, really.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Dominique, our theme is power. That is one of the symbolisms for our crown. Can you speak a little bit about what your definition of power is and put a little twist on power when it comes down to Black Girl Magic Museum and empowering women and girls?
It's so
Power
funny. When you sent me the word power, I kind of chuckled because for me, it's shifting on what I thought power was. A lot of times when you see power, it's something that you can visually see. But for me, with Black Girl Magic Museum, it just, as a person also, power is being able to know that you have the power to shift the culture, knowing that you have the power to break generational curses, and to be able to have others around you lift you up while you're doing that. And so I know for me, power is just, I think of Michelle Obama when I think of power. I think of how graceful she is and how selfless she is and how she create programs to really shift the community, shift the culture, shift the country. And so I think that is more so a person for me, because as I said, the word power for me have been shifting in the last 4 months, because sometimes people in power can be corrupt or not doing the right thing that they're supposed to do, but trying to look at power in a positive way. So yes, hope I answered that question.
Yes, you did, and you spoke on our former First Lady, Michelle Obama. You actually have an amazing exhibit centered around women in power, such as Michelle Obama, and we thank you for that. It really does. When a little girl walks into your facility and sees that exhibit or saw that exhibit, I know that would change, because I was. So it was beautiful that you're able to demonstrate girl power, basically. Queen Cruz, you're an example of power and leadership. What's your definition of power, and how do you relate that to your role as queen?
Funny thing, I remember thinking about power, and the first person who popped in my head was Michelle Obama. I was like, oh, Michelle Obama, like, duh.
Shout out.
Yeah. No, but power to me, I like what you said, because it's going to have different meanings for everybody. But power to me, I would think of ability, like the ability to think a certain way, the ability to do something, like, I'm trying to see how I can say this. But power, like, everybody has their own power. That makes sense. But it's whether we believe that power or that ability, it's whether we have the confidence to see it in ourselves. Like, just like the Miss Paul Quinn thing, like, I didn't think of myself as Miss Paul Quinn, but other people saw that in me, the potential. So it's like having the power to be the change, having the power to think differently, having the power to, like you said, break generational curses. It's like, that's power. Like, that's a mindful thought. It's putting your things into action. So to me, that's power. Just like Michelle Obama, like, she had the power, the ability to be the change, to impact her community. So it's like, we can do the same thing if we choose to impact our families. Like, we all have that power over something, over somebody that's probably looking up to us. So that's power to me. It's just ability.
I love that.
Yes. Yes, love it. Thank you so much. We have our beautiful queen. We're here with our series, Girls with Crowns, of course, and of course, power to me. Queen Cruz represents position. You have the ability to put yourself, or you have to be in position when you have power in order to create that change. That means being prepared. That means being educated to a certain extent, or whatever area that you want to do. And we always talk about entrepreneurship. So power is getting in position, and we're doing that tonight with Queen Cruz here with our series. And so can you tell us a little bit about you and your career goals? Where you headed?
So currently, since I did graduate in May, I'm now working in the medical device industry, which needs more diversity, but we're heading there. I'm actually the chair of our community engagement under our diversity and inclusion chair partnership, whatever you want to call it. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, I was like, oh, let's partner with HBCUs. Let's get some HBCUs in here for career development, like, because you don't really think about medical device, you know, when you're going to college or something. And I've heard that a lot. Well, my old manager, he was actually at Alpha, and he went to FAMU. So he was like, oh, we got another HBCU in here. Like, come on. I was like, yeah, come on now. But,
Definitely.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm doing that. I'm in marketing and product marketing management, and I'm also the chair of community engagement. So that's really exciting. As far as like continuous growth in my career, I would say just not being afraid to either switch things up or like go a different route, or, you know, have the ability to stand up and take on tasks. Like, I remember with the community engagement stuff, like, I just took charge. And so that's how I got in the chair. Like, I just like, okay, we're going to have this meeting. Like, I got some ideas, put it in PowerPoint for our next meeting. Like, I sent everybody the invite. They're like, okay, like, I just took charge. So they just, you know, and that's another thing with confidence. Like, you have to just have it as a leader, because if you don't, nobody's going to believe you. Like, nobody's going to believe your work. Nobody's going to believe what you're saying if you're not confident in it. So I just took charge. I was like, you know what, I'm confident in this. This is what I've done. You know, as Ms. Paul Quinn in my organizations, like, I'm comfortable with community engagement and impact. So I just took charge, really. But yeah, just continuously getting out of my comfort zone. That's my career. Like, that's what I strive to do as I continue in my career.
Okay, excellent. We definitely feel that, Dominique. We can tell she's a take charge type woman.
Yes, I can see that. I was like, listen, I'm glad you're in my backyard.
Yes, we need to definitely utilize this young lady. Very, very powerful, from America's great small college, Paul Quinn College. And we're so excited to have, once again, Queen Andrea Cruz. And so let's talk a little bit about if you're involved in any type of entrepreneurship, or if you have a brand or a product that you're interested in or would like to start. Let's talk about entrepreneurship and the power of that.
So I actually don't, but I do plan hopefully one day to start sports ministry, because like I said, sports like took me a long way. So I feel like I want to share that with others and build a community around that. But not only in the United States, but also like internationally. So I've done like a lot of international travel and like mission and impact missions. I'm actually going to Tanzania in July for a women's conference. And I'm doing sports ministry as well when I'm going to be out there. So it's just something I'm passionate about. Hopefully one day I can have my own sports ministry foundation. That's the goal. But right now I don't have any entrepreneurship ideas like going on.
Well, you just said it. And, you know, Dominique, you know, she's our master entrepreneur. Can you speak a little bit on Queen Cruz's idea that she just shared? How can she brand that? Because she's already doing it. So we need to empower our community, because that's a phenomenal area.
It's so funny. I was about to say, how can we support you? Because that's one of the things we want to make sure we're doing, not just coming on here, doing an interview, and then it's nothing. We want to make sure that after this, that we're also coming on board to empower you and uplift you. And I know for me, as you were saying that, I think that's phenomenal. And I would love to connect you with some people that probably can help you really mold and make that come to life. And as I said before, work very closely with someone who is with the Dallas wing. So I think she probably can even be an assistant to you. She has a program called Doing the Hard Work. So she loves community and things like that. So for one, I think putting it out there, having your community come, you know, it starts with just us. Like with Dr. Tuesday, she saw something that I was doing and she's like, how can I help? How can I build it out? And the ship wasn't already built, and she came in and just really stuck some hole, you know, put pins where holes were at and things like that. So I think that, you know, being vocal about this is what I want to do, even if it's 5 people showing up to support, then it's 10, then it's 20, and you build just like that. I think you already have it. And I think that's phenomenal. I haven't heard a lot of people with the same passion. So I think it's definitely needed because, as we know, there's a lot of Black and brown student athletes and also women and young girls who love, you know, sports, and being able to have someone that they can look up to and showing them the correct way to go, it will be phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you can help us with that exhibit. Listen. Right.
Full circle.
Yeah.
No, but what actually inspired me to like want to start my sports ministry, I would say was at Paul Quinn College, because I remember we had a middle school on campus at the time, and we had kind of like I want to say like a sports day for them. So after school, like they got to like come, and I remember it was on the soccer field. We did like different activities. We did basketball, we did soccer. We had like little different sports, and we had like each people from that sport from Paul Quinn come in and pretty much like play with them. Like we set up a little game. They had a basketball little game going on, and they just loved it. Like they literally loved it. They're like, when are we doing this again? And I was like, come on, like I made it very competitive because I'm a very competitive person. I was like, come on, we're making teams, have a team name, have your team name, like let's go, say your team name before we start the game, like get ready. But they loved it. Like they loved just being able to be out there. And I remember they're like, when are we having this again? Like this is so much fun.
Yes.
So
That means it has to happen.
Yeah, I was like, we need more of this, and especially like that'd be cool to have like an after school program for that. Because I remember after school, like we would just be outside like all day, like we didn't really, and like our parents would be working, like so. I think having that after school program would be really cool and needed in that area, because a lot of single parents probably working late, so when kids get home, they're usually just by themselves or like with the older sibling. Like I remember that's how I grew up. Like my sibling raised me because my parents were always working. But I thought it would be a really cool way to get them interactive and also engage with the college students. Like this is our community. This is, who these little kids are looking up to is us. And I remember Prez always telling us that like your community looks up to you, whether you see it or not. Like they see y'all. So that was my like first idea. I was like, I want to start doing this more because they loved it. Like they really grasped the concept, and you learn a lot from sports. Like I said, like character, discipline, like it's all there, the traits. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I need to do something with this. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, what you was saying?
Yes, Dominique, can you share a little bit about what's coming for Black Girl Magic Museum, especially like in the area of entrepreneurship, or how we can empower queens on college campuses and any other girls out there that may be interested in branding themselves?
Absolutely. So we have a conference that is coming up in March. We're going to be posting the details a little later. And so that's what we're going to be talking about. Is just entrepreneurship, and we have panels of women coming that, just in different fields to talk about entrepreneurship, how to become an entrepreneur, how to brand yourself, how to put yourself out there. And just like we said earlier, talk about the power, how to be powerful when you're moving forward in your business. Because like you said, Andrea, if you don't believe it, everyone else is not going to believe it. Like if you look nervous, people are like, nope, this is not it.
Yeah.
So,
and then you can kind of reverse that too, Dominique. I think a lot of people need to hear, if you believe it, it can be done or should be done.
Yes.
If you believe in yourself,
Yes, and I think that's so important. One of our mottos is if they can see it, they can believe it, and they can achieve it. Because so many times we don't see people that look like us in certain positions, so we don't even know if it's possible to do certain things. And I think it's so important for us to go back into our communities, and that's why I knew the Girls with Crowns series was so important, because we don't see a lot of minority girls wearing the crown. Recently, we start seeing more ladies, but I think that our girls have to know that they are powerful, that they are change makers, that they are worthy, and that they are beautiful. We can be all of these other characteristics, but I think that our girls also want to know we are beautiful too. We deserve that crown. And I think it's important to see ladies like you. And I'm very honored that you came today and, just gave us a lot of feedback. So, yes.
Thank you. And now I know you're in Plano, so we can stay connected. We're really
we
close.
Definitely, yes.
Definitely. You all are out there in D-Town making it happen. Queen, Cruz, thank you so much. Andrea Cruz, Miss Paul Quinn College from Dallas, Texas, or in Dallas, Texas, actually. So we're so excited that you are with us tonight. You did a phenomenal job, and you're absolutely gorgeous. We appreciate all that you do and have done really for your campus, and we look forward to you just shining in the community as we move forward. Of course, as I mentioned before, I'm Dr. Tuesday Mahoney. I am an HBCU administrator, and so we just want to shout out the books. I'm an author as well, so on Amazon you can go Get Ready for College right here, Get Ready for College. And then also we have an amazing guide, because we want everybody to know about HBCU. So this is the HBCU Fan-Addict on Amazon, Historically Black Colleges and Universities Guide that will help young people, middle school and up, to understand the importance and how to navigate college as well as HBCU. So please head out to Amazon and get this material to all of your youth groups. We will be thankful that this gets in the hands of those for empowerment. And thank you, Dominique, so much. Once again, you are a powerful influence to young women and girls, and Black Girl Magic Museum's platform changes lives. So we're so thankful for this opportunity to go live with your audience and just share Queen Cruz with the world. Queen, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say thank you for having me. I had a pleasure talking to y'all, and now I have new friends, new connections.
Yes,
so I
you
can't
do.
wait to stay in
Contact. And we're here to support you, seriously.
Yeah, I was going to say, stay tuned. Because
so we want to, before you leave, I don't want you to forget, I know you shouted out your president many times, a phenomenal president I'm hearing for Paul Quinn College. So excited about that. And so President, is it Michael Sorrell? Correct?
Michael J. Sorrell.
Excellent. And so can you just shout out to your Royal Court that supported you, SGA? Just shout them out a little bit, because we know that you really didn't do it all alone. You have a great team and your advisors.
Yeah, shout out, I would say SGA President, Lamontria. She's awesome. I was going to say, y'all should interview her. She's
female president.
Yeah, she's an entrepreneur. She started her business at 16, so she's awesome. Y'all need to meet her. I can connect you.
Yeah.
So yeah, she helped me a lot. My Royal Court, Asha and Frankie, they're also phenomenal. And then also our advisors that helped us with the Royal Court, which is Dee McGriff, and of course Prez and Dee Thompson. I was like, I have so many people.
You have so many. You have so much support. That's why you said go to HBCU.
How can the world hear about Paul Quinn College? Where do they need to go? The website, please.
pqc.edu.
Okay.
I was like, or you can look up the World's
put it in the
Best
comments.
College Basketball Court will pop up, or only HBCU in Dallas. We have Instagram, we have Facebook. Michael J. Sorrell on Twitter. He's very active, so go follow him on Twitter. Yeah.
All right. That was. Could you repeat the website again? I'm gonna put it in the comments so everyone can see. And shout out to everyone who stayed in with us. We appreciate you enjoying tonight's Girls with Crowns. To get Paul Quinn College once again, we're gonna go where?
pqc.edu to go to our website.
Okay, excellent. And Dominique, do you have any final words for our amazing queen and all of those wonderful people out in D-Town?
Just thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I definitely look forward to that connection. We are going to be launching another series for entrepreneurs for February and March. So she can definitely be a part of that. And just thank you for doing everything you do for the Dallas-Fort Worth area, because it's so needed. And representation matters. It's just not a hashtag. It's just not a key phrase. It is necessary. And that is what you're doing for the community.
Yeah, I love it. I'll stay tuned. Hopefully we can get some community engagement going for a Black Girls Magic Museum.
Absolutely.
So I'm here if you need me. I'll let you know I'm in D-Town.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
So
Okay, well, ladies, thank you. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining. Once again, thank you. This was Girls with Crowns, our second episode, and we're so excited. Next Thursday, Dominique, every Thursday at what time?
6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Meet us here.
Yes, and 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going over to Central State University next week. So please come on out and represent with us on Thursday. That is in Ohio. And so we're going to be excited about that and meeting the amazing queen. We will share who she's going to be this week. Stay tuned to Black Girl Magic Museum, and also go and follow HBCU Fan-Addict. And I will have this series on YouTube as well under Dr. Tuesday Mahoney for HBCU Fan-Addict. Thank you so much, and hail to our queen, Andrea Cruz.
Andrea, before we hang up, can you give everyone your can you say your Instagram too?
So it's Drea.Cruz_. Here, I can drop it in the chat.
Yeah. We all want to continue to follow you and all the awesome things that you're doing.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome.
So, thank you guys. Thank you so much, and y'all have a great night.
Thank you. You have a great night.
Okay.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome.